everybody, and welcome. For those of you who've listened to our podcast for over a year, you know our voices, but now you know the faces. And what disappointment this must be.
Why we decided to do video, who knows? But
why not? Hey, it's something new, something to put it out there to the masses. So for those of you joining us for the first time, welcome to the Get Ranked Movie Podcast, the show where we take long? That's right. Why'd you wait till video? The show where we take a topic in pop culture and we give you our ranking of that topic, be it movies, television, books, video games, in this instance, all the films of a specific director.
John Carpenter.
Yeah, so I am one of your hosts, Nick, and with me on the other side is...
I'm Cody.
That's right. And we are happy to be doing this. Like I said, we've been doing this podcast for almost 2 years now. Mm-hmm. Just in audio form, and we were fine with that.
Like traditional podcast.
Yeah, we were fine with that. No reason to do anything more than that. But we've seen a lot of different shows on YouTube of these types of things, not just rankings, but movie shows. And we thought, well, we can do that.
Yeah.
Or try.
Get rich or die trying, right?
Exactly. Well, we're not getting rich, we can assure you. But hey, maybe the show will blow up and Cody and I have a new career as YouTube personalities.
There we go. I'm the next PewDiePie. I don't want to be the next PewDiePie.
Oh, don't. No one wants to be the next PewDiePie. PewDiePie I don't even think wants to be PewDiePie anymore. So yes. So how the show works, we're not actually going to get to the list yet. But just for those of you who are new to our show, usually Cody and I every week, like I said, we'll pick a topic. We've done the films of Tim Burton. When Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker came out last year, we ranked all the Star Wars films. For Halloween Horror Month last year, we ranked all of the Halloween films and
all the
Friday
the 13th movies, all the Movie Monster. Well,
that was Invisible Man, right? This year.
Oh yeah, that was in middle of the March.
So usually we try to do a topic that has to do with something that's coming out in the theater. So, for example, when we did Tim Burton, it was because Dumbo was coming out. Rise of Skywalker, we did all the Star Wars films. Because this year has been quite different, excuse me, we've had to kind of just come up with categories. Now, granted, for this week, this wouldn't have been built with or based on anything, purely just because it's October. When you're listening to this episode or watching it, it is officially October.
Yep.
My favorite month. And
spooky season.
The spooky season, the spooky, scary skeleton season has begun. And so like last year, Cody and I, for the whole month of October, we'll be doing lists that are horror movie based, spooky season, Halloween based, what be it. And so we decided for the first week of Halloween Horror Month to do the films of John Carpenter. Now, he is not only a horror director.
A lot horror, but...
As we're going to talk this week, he has a few that aren't. But the bulk of his movies are horror or thriller in genre. So we thought that would work for Halloween Horror Month. Because like Cody said, a good 75% of my list is horror.
Mine too, even though I hate horror.
Yeah, and that's the fun thing about Halloween Horror Month, for those of you who are new to the show, is Cody hates horror movies. Cody watches horror movies because I've had him watch horror movies, and...
I've tried to leave theaters during horror movies.
He sure has. He sure has. That was Nightmare on Elm Street, I believe.
The remake with Jackie Earle Haley.
Yeah, but what made that worse for you was because of the motion seats. Usually Cody could close his eyes during scary shit, but he couldn't this time because it would still vibrate.
I would throw the chair all over the place.
So he couldn't even hide during that. So yeah, Cody does not like horror, but Cody humors me and does horror during October because we're going to watch horror movies anyway. It's October.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
And it's fun to make Cody talk about something he's not comfortable with, because then you get a good, genuine list. Because
I only have one horror movie on my list. No.
Yeah. Somehow Cody found all the other Carpenter films that are not horror. Oh, God. He's had some stinkers. And we're going to get into that because we're going to talk about all of them. We're going to do our list, and then we'll talk about all his movies.
The rest.
That did not make our list. Because Carpenter, he's been around since... Well, his first big one was Halloween in 78, but Assault on Precinct 13 was before that, which was what, 76?
76.
And Dark Star before that.
Dark Star was
kind
the
of
first
a student
one,
film, and kind of more of a student film. I mean, he's been around for 40 years, but he hasn't directed anything since 2010. So Carpenter's really only got 15 movies 15 movies, I think
his name 18 total on the list.
18 total. So, he hasn't had that big of a filmography.
18.
I'm hoping he just kind of stops. I mean, he has stopped directing.
He has stopped.
But just becomes a composer.
Yeah.
Full time. He did the score for the new Halloween 2 years ago, and it's awesome. So I'm hoping that he that. If I was a new up and coming director, I would absolutely find the money to contact Carpenter and be like, "Hey, we want you to score our film," because he will do it.
All that he has scored since then is Halloween and Halloween Kills.
But I think that's because no one's thought to probably ask him. Do you know what I mean? The guy just goes on concert and goes on tour and does concerts of his scores and the music. I think if people asked him, he would. Carpenter, for all of Carpenter's awesomeness, he's definitely a whore for money.
Mm-hmm.
He always has been. If you watch any interview with Carpenter where he's talking about like the remake of The Fog, his response was, "They paid me to do it." Like same with the Rob Zombie's Halloween remake. Like his response was, "They paid me for the rights, and as long as the checks keep coming, I don't care." Like if you pay him, he doesn't care.
That's a good attitude to have. I mean, unfortunately, Rob Zombie's Halloween happens.
Well, when it comes to getting paid to do something, we're going to see how that can fail as we talk about Carpenter today. But I just think people didn't think to ask him to be a composer. You know what I mean? Whereas for Halloween, it made sense because, hey, you did the score for the original. It's fantastic. Why don't this is such a spiritual sequel to the first one.
Yep.
And I think it showed he still has it. So let him do it.
Yeah.
Cody, you want to talk for a bit?
I mean, you've covered pretty much everything. I mean, we've looked at just the Halloween movies. We've looked at, of course, other directors. And I say John Carpenter, it was definitely an interesting watch, seeing a lot of movies that I hadn't seen. When I started, I had only seen about 3 or 4 of them.
3, I think.
I think I had seen 3.
And I was able to pull all 3, too. I was sitting there thinking about it. I was like, I know 1.
Mm-hmm.
I know 2. And I was like, what the hell would the third one be? And I was like, we did Stephen King.
Yep.
I was like, I knew it. I remember it.
And
so yes, we did Stephen King before.
Yeah, we did do a Stephen King book movie. Well, movies based on Stephen King books.
For It last year,
yeah, when It came out. So, yeah, I had only seen 3 of them, and now I've seen damn near all of them.
Probably, yeah.
I think all but 3. No. Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, I don't want to discredit us for, discredit myself for not watching those 3. Those 3 that I didn't watch are, according to other reviews, aggregates, and whatnot, considered to be his worst anyway. So they probably wouldn't have made my list. So
and we try to watch as many as we can, but we work. There's stuff going on, so.
And we think of these topics a week ahead of time. And
a week ahead of time, correct. So Cody and I don't plan these ahead of time. Like we literally will finish an episode, recording one, and then him and I will say, what do we want to do next week? And then we'll set it, and then that gives us 1 week to watch. And luckily for me, what's been fun about the show is I've always been a big movie fan. Cody's been a big movie fan, but Cody hasn't seen as many movies as I have.
Not by far.
And so what's interesting for this show is a lot of times it is easier for me. And so we try to pick topics that aren't going to be too hard for Cody, like to watch a lot of shit. Like if there's something that we know is a lot. So him and I are planning on doing James Bond whenever that comes out.
Whenever that comes out. I started in March.
And exactly. And that's 20 some movies. So Cody knows in
24?
advance he needs to watch 24 movies. So he's going to pay. We wouldn't say, all right, Cody, let's do that next week. But like for Carpenter, there was only, I think maybe 5 that I hadn't seen that I watched this week. Whereas Cody had like 12.
Yeah.
But that makes it fun.
I watched a lot of them, I watched, again, a lot of movies that I had no idea anything about. Now I'm suddenly getting pop culture references that I've seen in other stuff. Like, I've multiple jokes in The Simpsons, jokes in Futurama, jokes in Family Guy, and then just like general pop culture references to these movies. And like I told Nick that, chewing bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm out of bubble gum. I always considered that. I always thought of that as a Duke Nukem reference because that's the first place I saw it. But then realizing that they stole it from They Live, it's totally wild.
Oh, absolutely.
Got any news?
Nothing really I can think of. Movie theaters will be opening here soon.
Yep.
But whether or not that means I still will go back to them yet.
Yeah, and my issue with that is, so my local movie theater that I have the membership to, they've long given the message, we're not going to start charging you again until your theater's open. And even with my theater opening the end of next week, I don't think it's going to be worth it to have that membership for the next,
Depends
at
on
least
what's
until
out.
November. I mean,
I've been saying for a while, like, it sucks that theaters are closed because it's forcing theaters that are open to have to start showing old movies, which is cool.
right.
Like, there've
And
been a
I
lot of
went and
old
saw
movies
Jurassic Park in the
Yeah.
drive-in.
that I would
was awesome.
love to go see in the theater, but so I know that, like, when theaters reopen, like you said, I think they can start opening as soon as the 9th
October 9th
of
here,
October.
yes.
Now, granted, that's when they can. Well, no, who knows? They will right away. I'm going to have to really have proof from these theaters that they're really going to do what they can to make it safe for me to actually go back.
Yeah.
The one that might get me back is that they're bringing Halloween 4 and 5 to the theater.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Halloween in the theater like 4 times. That's nothing new for me, but I've never seen 4 and 5. So if that comes here, I'll wear a mask plus a Michael Myers mask if I have to. I'll do what I need
wear
to
the
do,
mask
'cause
with the
I wanna
Michael
go
Myers,
see that.
or wear the medical mask over the Michael Myers mask.
Like, I will do that if I have to, because that would be cool. But it's going to be a while before I feel safe even to go back to the movie theaters, even though they're open. So
Even
I
though
don't
they're
know.
open, and they'll probably have like every other row blocked off. Like, I mean, I've been going to church and it's every other row blocked off, and families are separated by like 6 feet, and you're not getting close to people generally. And I say theaters can have a similar. I mean, of course, church is once a week.
Once a week for what? An
hour.
Hour 45 minutes. Movies, even if it's a kids film, hour and a half.
2 hours.
And it's like you said, it's
Endgame,
once
3
a
hours.
week. Yeah, it's once a week, whereas this specific theater might have 4 showings in it in one day.
Yeah. And
so there's going to have to be some real changes. I don't know, but that's really all the only news is that theaters here are reopening.
Yeah, I did not get a chance to watch Enola Holmes. I wanted to.
I'm halfway through it.
Okay, I have it on my watch list because I was watching so much John Carpenter this week.
Yeah.
I just never got to it.
Yeah, I watched about an hour and a half of it. I think I have about an hour left.
It looks like it's really good.
It's good. It's a good movie so far, and I'm assuming it'll continue to be good because it only has like an hour left. But
until Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly show up as
that would make them good though, because this is a good movie, and that movie sucks. No, but Enola Holmes so far is fun. Millie Bobby Brown is very good.
Okay,
but I haven't seen anything where she's not. But she brings such a energy to the movie and to her performance, where she's really bubbly and fun and goofy. But it's got a good story.
Which you don't see much in Stranger Things, so maybe once or twice.
That's what's funny is in Stranger Things. Yeah, she's very serious and because she's new to everything. Like she doesn't know a lot of stuff. So this is fun because she's not that. She's the opposite, and she's British, which she is in real life. But it's just weird even seeing her be British in something, but
with her real accent,
but it's fun. It's got some really fun sequences so far. It's got an intriguing story. I'm eager to finish it. Well,
something just dinged somewhere.
So yes, everybody, these are recorded live on tape. So you will be getting all the nitty gritty of Cody and I recording. You may hear sounds. You may see me get up and just go to the bathroom while Cody's talking. There might be, just bear with it. I've watched other YouTube shows for years, and they pretty much stick to that format and do what they need to do. And this is new for us, so we're gonna kind of start doing this like this each week, along with the audio will still be out there.
Yep, we're not gonna stop releasing to the podcasting platforms.
Nothing's going to
iTunes,
change.
Google
We're just
Play.
adding. Yep, we're just adding a video component. If you want to watch it on YouTube instead, feel free. So, bear with us as we do what we can to make
work
this
out the
work.
kinks.
And, we'll make it work like we did with the podcast. If you go back and listen to episode 1,
it was a train wreck.
And today's episode 78. You're gonna be like, holy crap.
Yeah. Sounds like we know what we're doing now.
Yeah, we've got the format
Sometimes.
down. We've got the audio down. We've got it kind of down. So same with this. I think if we continue doing the video and you watch this a year from now,
your audio glitched when you said we've got the audio down, and it was just perfect. So I'm leaving it just as such.
But yeah, so bear with us. We'll make it work. Same with our video. We may end up being like, hey, we need better webcams, or we need better this or better that. We'll make it work.
Yep.
We'll fiddle with it. So as we said at the top of the episode, yes, we are doing John Carpenter, famed film director John Carpenter. We're going to rank 10. We're going to do our top 10 favorites of his films. Like we said, he's been around for almost 40 years directing wise.
And honestly, repeat listeners probably know both of our number ones.
Pretty much. And if Cody's isn't the same as mine, just shut it down, unplug it, shut it all down. Because I know it's not going to be, and I'm ready to just pull the plug. Because he's wrong.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. There's a clear winner. Maybe. More than likely. Christopher Reeve. So, yeah, he's mostly been an independent film director his whole career. He has stepped out of that a few times to do big budget studio films, and a lot of times they kicked him in the ass to where he's always sworn off doing big budget films because they never ended up well. One thing that's interesting about Carpenter, just from doing more research on him this week and looking at his movies and reading about the different movies that were made, he's very hypocritical in the sense that you'll read an interview with him while he's making one of these movies, like Village of the Damned, for example.
Okay.
While making it, he talked about I'm having really fun. It's a lot of fun. I'm really excited. We're doing this movie, Village of the Damned. It's going to be filmed, near where I live. I'm really excited about it. I think the story's really good. And then you read an interview with him now, and it's like, yeah, that movie sucks. And there are multiple instances of that to where like Carpenter really talks up like the movie he's making and how he's really excited for it and that he likes it. And then now he just trashes it.
And I've even seen some that are like, the cast was wonderful to work with. This actor was great and awesome. And then you see like later, like Carpenter has later went on to say that working with this person was a nightmare and they were it's like.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then granted, some of that when he's praising stuff could be studio mandated at the time saying, you've got to talk good about this movie. And even him. He's a salesman. He's a director. You want your movie to do well. Yeah. Could be him saying, the movie's going to be good, when in reality, he's like, this is garbage. Chevy Chase is a monster.
Yeah, I think that was the one that I was looking at, was Invisible Man. It's
Chevy Chase and Daryl Hannah, I believe.
And Daryl Hannah both were just a nightmare to work with.
But yeah, so like we said, it's Halloween Horror Month. We're starting with a horror / thriller / suspense /
known for horror director.
Whatever else, but we figure he's got a lot of horror, so he'll be what we start with. Cody, for the first time for video, tell him how it works.
So, the way this show works is every week, Nick and I take a topic of pop culture, be it movies, video games, music, books.
Oh, I forgot. We're on video now, so I got to turn it label that way.
Yes. Not a sponsor.
Movies,
topic of pop culture,
books.
be it movies, books, video games, even though we've done very little book stuff because I don't read. And of that topic, we make a top 10 list. We go our separate ways. We don't know each other's lists. We create them blindly. And from that, we come live on tape and now live on video. Well,
live on tape.
Syndicated.
It's live on tape.
Live on tape. Live on tape syndication. There we go. Of our top 10 list, this is the first time Nick is hearing my list and the first time I am hearing Nick's list. So without further ado, it is Nick's week to begin the list. And Nick, what is your number 10?
So this is a fun list to do because those of you who've listened to the show for almost 2 years now, you've heard me talk about how I do my list, which is when we pick a topic, I'll kind of do like a gut reaction list where I'll put down, to the best of my memory, what my top 10 is, or top 5 if I haven't seen others.
Are you gonna say this was your number 2 initially?
No. This was still in my bottom 5, but it was more around like the 6 or 7.
Okay.
And then I rewatched it and changed ideas, and now it's my number 10. But my number 10 is John Carpenter's.
You don't say.
Because he puts that in front of damn near every movie he's directed, which smart. But my number 10 is John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness.
That is my number 9.
Okay, so let's talk about it. So like I said, before I rewatched it for this list, this was probably like my 6 or 7. So it's still kind of middle of the road Carpenter, which even at my 10, it's still, all these movies I really like. Mm-hmm. Let's get that out there. The ones that aren't on my list are ones that are kind of really iffy. But really, he has some, like to me, he has 10 good movies. And this is the start of it, where there's some stuff in this that doesn't work. The pacing's really bad in this movie.
Yeah.
To where about 40 minutes in, you're sitting there going, okay, he just got to the town and nothing's happening. Oh, and by the way, everybody, spoilers.
Spoilers.
We're going to spoil the hell out of all these movies. The oldest the newest movie on my list is still like 25 years old. So, or even almost 30 years old. So yeah, we're going to spoil all this, but you know, it has pacing issues. But other than that, it's a solid Lovecraft homage.
Stephen
you know
King
what I mean?
homage was what
Stephen
I got out
King,
of it.
yeah, Stephen King, Lovecraft. Stephen King definitely for like the author thing, and you know,
Sutter Kane,
the Sutter Kane, and it's kind of like
the
a
small
New
town
England
in New England.
Yeah, you
Yep.
know. But it's definitely Lovecraftian in the monsters and the madness part of it. And it's fun. It's an interesting movie. It's a cool idea of an author whose books are driving people mad, and they send an insurance adjuster basically to find him. And Sam Neill's good. His accent comes and goes,
which really baffles me because I have not seen his accent go that far. I never even knew
in Jurassic Park. He's good, and this came out the same year.
He's good, and Invisible Man he was good.
Invisible Man, it comes and goes, not as bad as
not
this.
Definitely
and
not
that
as bad.
was
not
before
even
this,
noticeably,
which is weird.
But no, and I never knew honestly that Sam Neill was from New Zealand until
I texted you.
Until you texted me that, you know, that his accent just comes and goes, and I don't. I mean, again, I've never heard him in an interview that I know of, which is also bizarre to me. I've never paid attention to Sam Neill.
I feel like that's why he's with Taika Waititi now. You know, so he was in, I think, Hunt for the Wilder People,
which I still need to watch.
He's from New Zealand.
Yeah,
and
I know Taika Waititi
has a cameo in Thor Ragnarok. You know, like he's New Zealand. He's a New Zealand actor. Right. You know, so it makes sense once you sit and think about it. But yeah, he's good. He's fun. You know, this movie has a good cast. I really like Charlton Heston.
Charlton Heston.
I
didn't even realize until the credits.
It's got a kick-ass. We're going to talk about this a lot throughout this episode. But it's got a kick-ass score.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the score from The Mouth of Madness. And like I said, I think the special effects are pretty good in terms of like the makeup effects. I think the creatures are cool.
The creatures, I mean, are a little rough.
I wish you saw more of them.
Yeah. For
like at the end when he's being chased down the tunnel. Show me those. Like that's your buildup. The whole movie's your buildup of these monsters that Sutter Kane has accidentally brought into our world. And it's like, show me these before you cut away. Like,
right.
But it's got some fun, good, scary moments. Like this movie, I don't think is as scary as some of Carpenter's others that we're going to talk about when it comes to horror. But it's got some good. It's more unsettling,
right?
You know, with dealing with the madness and scary monsters and stuff. You know, I love that Vigo, the Scourge of Carpathia, is in it.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to mention.
Did you find him this time, or when I texted you about it?
Yes, I did. The one
and he sounds normal. I don't know why they didn't just use his voice in Ghostbusters too. But I guess Max von Sydow's just got a better voice.
And then I say Francis, the innkeeper, was just creepy.
Like grandma from Happy Gilmore.
It's the grandma from Happy Gilmore. When the guy is chained to her ankle, it's just creepy. And then you got
the grandma from Happy Gilmore, or the woman who Jerry steals the bread from on Seinfeld.
Yep. I kept thinking it was the secretary from Liar Liar, but that's wrong.
No, that is the woman. That's the caseworker from Mrs. Doubtfire.
Okay.
As well as Liar Liar, but yeah.
Yeah, and then the other one that I didn't even notice until I saw it on Wikipedia, the Paper Boy.
Yeah, it's Hayden Christensen.
But no, and I think my favorite part of this movie is when he goes in the end and sees the movie, and it's the movie that we just saw.
And it even sa's John Carpenter's in the Mouth of Madness.
New Line Cinema presents John Carpenter. Yeah, the entire poster was the poster for this movie. I really like that nod.
It's a fun meta moment to the fact that like the whole movie's about you're not a real person. You're a character in a book. And then at the end it's you're a character in a movie.
You're a character in a movie, and
which is cool, you know, and I just love it ends with him just laughing. And it just cuts to credits. Like it's just a good.
No
moment.
Real explanation. No,
don't need it.
I mean, you don't need it.
And Lovecraft didn't a lot of times. Shit like that would happen in his books.
Just
and
totally
like
ambiguous.
Really weird, maddening things, and it would just be ambiguous because the whole point is to just be crazy and cause madness, and that's what this movie is. It's about a book that makes you go mad, and so the whole movie you're going mad yourself, be trying to figure this stuff out.
Yeah, it was hard to follow sometimes, and I did get a little confused, like especially with the assistant knowing what's going on, and
then Heston being like, "I never sent someone with you."
Yeah,
I do love. Shout out to John Glover as the guy that runs the asylum.
Mm-hmm.
He's always just such a creepy bastard.
Yeah.
I love him in Gremlins too. Of course, Lionel Luthor on Smallville.
Wouldn't know that. Still haven't watched Smallville. Still need to watch Smallville.
Yeah, I was thinking the other day I want to rewatch Smallville, but Fargo started last night, which gets me wanting to go rewatch Fargo now. So, so that would probably be the next thing I rewatch. But
Family Guy also started last night, but there was, because of football, I'm guessing, my DVR recorded it about 10 seconds late or 10 minutes late.
It was, I think my recording was 7 minutes late. Okay. So I missed like the last probably couple minutes, but it was a good episode.
It was still nice. I'll go find it on Hulu or whatever that Family Guy goes up to the next day. And
yeah, it was fun. But yeah, so my number 10 in the mouth of John Carpenter's in the mouth of madness. Cody, what's your number 10?
So my number 10 is first time watch, surprise. One of the more out there movies, mostly because they have a British guy playing the president. My number 10 is Escape from New York.
Punt. Cody, tell them what a punt is.
So what a punt is for our first time viewers, long time listeners, is if Nick or I say an item and the other person has it much higher on their list. So we're not going to talk about it now. We'll talk about it when it's a little bit more relevant and a little bit more heartfelt and more important to that other person. So moving on, my number 9 was Mouth of Madness. So what was your number 9, Nick?
My number 9 was a first time watch.
Okay. Not many of those.
No, there wasn't many. There was only... What's funny is that I did have maybe 3 or 4 first time watches for this list, but this is, I think, the only one that made my list.
Oh, wow.
of the first time watches. And it's because I think a lot of times the ones I hadn't seen were ones that generally were considered not his best. So I just never got around to watching them. Yeah, I never got around to watching them because, people don't like them. But this one is considered one of his better movies, and I just never got around to it. My number 9 is Assault on Precinct 13.
It's my number 8.
Good deal. So yeah, I'd never seen this. I'd heard of it. I remember seeing bits and pieces of the remake with Ethan Hawke and Larry Fishburne. And it's Larry Fishburne if you're friends with him. And didn't think much of it. Never saw the original, never got around to it. But just, because we were doing this, all right, I'll watch it. I'll pop it on.
Yeah.
This is a good movie. This is a really good, tight, suspenseful thriller. Yeah. Really good.
That's what I liked about it, because most of the movie takes place in the one jail, in the sheriff's office, in the Precinct 13. Which I did catch on one of the exterior shots of the building. It says Precinct 17 or something. It says the actual building that they used. They actually used they
used a real police station.
Police station, but they still left the number up. It's like, okay.
Oh, there's so many goofs in Carpenter movies. I mean, there's
they're made so
they're independent,
low budget. They're made. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say
really,
cheaply.
But this one really was. This was before Carpenter really got a not necessarily budget, but got something of a budget.
Right. Looks like it had about $100,000 budget. According to
that's still three times less than Halloween.
That's still really low.
I think Halloween was $300,000.
Well, and you look at some of the movies that we looked at last week that had $15 million.
That's true. Or we did Bombs, so
yeah.
Movies with $200 billion budgets.
Right.
That only made 5. But Assault on Precinct 13, I was really engaged by it. I love the idea of, this. I was reading online, Carpenter almost likened this to Night of the Living Dead, to where it's people trapped in a building with an endless onslaught of enemies.
Right.
And that's really what this is it's endless. There are apparently 500,000 members of this street gang for them to just mow down in the firefights in the movie.
Coming through the windows, just in droves, climbing.
I mean, there's a 5-minute sequence of them just shooting people coming through the windows, and they just keep coming. If I was on that gang, I'd be like, Tom, I'm not climbing through that window. Billy and Mark just both got mowed down. Well, why would I climb through the same window?
Yeah, exactly. Oh well.
But it's fun.
The honor. They have the honor to their gang. They have
and crazy that for a movie made in 76 that the ball's on Carpenter to shoot a little girl, and it's so graphic.
That was the one that was he's not gonna do it. Cool. And then she walks back. It's like, crap, come on.
I know, and it's like, damn, but it's a good inciting incident, that gets that guy to go after them, and then he kills the gang member, and he goes back to the precinct. But fun trivia fact for you.
How important he was that he ended up getting no other lines for the rest of the movie. I thought
for sure he was going to actually be a part of the climax and help fight him off.
Sort,
but literally, he's just wearing a blanket, cowering in fear the whole movie. Nancy Loomis is much more scared, but she's at least trying until she dies. That was fun seeing Annie Brackett. One thing that has been fun about these movies is watching him continue to cast people over and over. Like it was cool seeing. Did you know the guy that was on the guy on the prison bus that was Sheriff Brackett?
Sheriff Brackett, yeah, because he was in. I just recognized him in a bunch of other movies. I think he was.
But this was
he was the weatherman in The Fog. He was.
Yeah, he's been in a bunch of Carpenter movies, but I think this was the first time using him. It's the first time I think using Nancy Loomis.
Laurie Zimmer, yeah.
It was just cool seeing that. But yeah, fun trivia for you. The young girl that gets shot is the sister of the girl that plays Lindsay in Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah. And they both have went on to be Real Housewives. And we'll see her again in Halloween Kills. She's coming back to play Lindsay.
Okay.
Huh. And Sheriff Brackett. They got his old ass out of retirement to come in for Halloween Kills, which is really cool. Charles Cypher is like 81 years old, but he's back in Halloween Kills. I love it. But Assault on Precinct 13, it is just a masterclass in suspense because these guys are coming. Which direction are they going to come from this time?
Yeah, and how are they gonna catch the guy sneaking through the sewer? How did they get all of the cars and everything cleaned up outside? That was the big the part that I laughed at, I think but
just that they have everything covered. Like when the one guy, the convict, goes through the sewers and gets in the car to drive away, and the guy sits up in the back seat, and it's like,
Michael Myers
okay,
style.
Halloween. Exactly. Look out, Andy. She's like, I'm already dead. I'm in the prison. But yeah, it was a good suspenseful movie and with some good action, and I just really liked it. I was surprised. I'm mad I hadn't watched it, and I watched the first 5 minutes of the remake because I thought I'm gonna watch this and see how different it is. And it opens with a guy punching a dog, and I went, I'm done. Like,
oh, right.
Thank you. Even though the dog looked incredibly fake when he was punching it, I'm like, nope.
No, they can shoot children buying ice cream all day, but punch a dog, you're out.
Punch a dog. That dog doesn't know why it's being punched. That little girl is in a dangerous town. She should have known. Anyway, Assault on Precinct 13, my number 9.
All right.
Moving down to my number 8. A slight punt is Escape from New York. Yeah, my number 8, John Carpenter's Escape from New York.
Escape from New York. This one was a fun movie.
I love Escape from New York a lot. I just rewatched it. I'm going to say Friday I rewatched it. And I'd seen it before a few times and really liked it. And I really liked it again this time. Liked it again this time. It's a fun action movie. It was Carpenter. It was the first time Carpenter was doing something. I mean, I guess Assault on Precinct 13 was some action, but I feel like that was much more suspense thriller.
That was a suspense thriller.
Whereas I don't feel like
realistic.
Yeah, whereas I don't feel like Escape from New York has any like horror or suspense. It's more just a full-on action movie.
And I feel like, again, so on this one, I definitely feel like when we watched Terminator, seeing this post-apocalyptic future that was 23 years ago. Apparently, New York should be a prison by now.
Yeah.
And should be.
I'd much prefer Donald Pleasence as our president right now. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, and that's what gets me was he didn't even change. He didn't even hide his accent.
I said that out loud because I didn't remember that rewatching it. I was like, I know Pleasence is the president, and I was like, but I don't remember. Does he do an American accent? And then it cuts to him, and I'm like, no, not at all. He's just doing Dr. Loomis.
He's just doing, yeah.
And I love when I was watching it at the very end. I love that Pleasance gets he kills the villain. I like the president. He gets the final kill, and as he's shooting the guy, I so bad want him to scrout. I shot him 6 times. But no, it's got some fun action, and it reminds me a lot of like basically Mad Max, but in a city.
Yeah.
In the sense that it's
renegades. It's everything. Every man for himself.
The looks of the characters, the one guy, the Duke's right hand man with like the hair, him fighting a guy in a prison ring or whatever. It's just like it's very Mad Max-ish.
It is,
but like I said, in a city, and it's fun. I like the characters are really entertaining. I think Snake Plissken's one of the best action heroes.
I did laugh at one of the so of course the first thing I think of when I see Snake Plissken and see that his name is Snake, I think of Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid. And
I thought you were going to go Stan's dad in American Dad, which is a parody of Snake Plissken.
Which is, yeah. But no, I mean, Solid Snake from the Metal Gear Solid games, and I actually looked into it. It's like, is Solid Snake supposed to be Snake Plissken or the other way around? And yeah, Solid Snake was definitely based on Snake Plissken, and
Really?
John Carpenter said, he's like, yeah, I had every right to sue, but this guy was nice to me. The Kojima, the head of Konami, he said, this guy was nice to me, so why bother?
Yeah. And Carpenter's a big video game guy.
Yeah.
He's a big video game nut. Like, I was listening to an interview with him 2018. They were talking to him about Halloween, the new one. And they were asking him, like, the interviewer did his research and actually said, like, I know you're a big video game person. What are you playing right now? What's got you excited? And he said, I'm eager to play. I think it was the new Assassin's Creed. I think it was Odyssey. He goes, I didn't play the last one because I'm not into ancient Egypt. He goes, but I'm really interested in the Greek mythology of Odyssey. So I'm going to play that. Like, he's a huge Call of Duty, like Carpenter's a big video game nut. So that doesn't surprise me that he'd be like, sure, go ahead, do it.
I mean, be nice. He didn't ask for rights, or he didn't ask for royalties on that or anything. He just said,
I knew Stan's dad from American Dad was full on Snake Plissken, but I didn't know Solid Snake. That's cool.
Yeah. So just be nice if you're going to, before you steal someone's work.
Or make sure it has to do with video games. There you go. Yeah, but no, it's just a fun action movie. Are some of the effects dated? Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
all of these are going to be that way, but for the time,
early
they were
80s.
good.
For the time. I mean, yeah, even looking at it with that eye to it, like, of course, like the computer screens are wildly exaggerated as what they would look like. Say this was not the one with the virus. This was the one with the stuff in his neck. This was just the bombs in his neck, which I think was kind of ridiculous that, they're just destroyed by X-rays. And
ridiculous, but a fun plot device to make sure he gets in and out.
Yeah.
It's fun. Isaac Hayes being the bad guy was interesting. It's just Chef is chasing him.
That's what I was thinking. You don't see Isaac Hayes as the bad guy very much.
No, which was cool. Ernest Borgnine is
probably one of my favorite characters in this movie, because
and it's really upsetting when he dies.
I was really sad when he died.
Harry Dean Stanton, Adrian Barbeau, whatever. They can blow up. I don't want Ernest Borgnine to die. Come on.
Exactly.
But at least it's not in some like she gets mowed down in a very gruesome way. Harry Dean Stanton blows up. At least with Ernest Borgnine, it just the car explodes and you just see him dead. It's like, all right, if you're gonna kill 60-year-old Ernest Borgnine, at least it's not sad.
Right.
But he hates evil.
Yes.
Like on SpongeBob.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else on John Carpenter's Escape from New York?
No, nothing else on Escape from New York.
What's it called?
Escape from New York.
Why? That is not what it's called. What's it called, Cody?
John Carpenter's Escape from New York.
That's right. Or is it Boston? You tell me.
That would have been the logical sequel. Escape from Boston.
That would have been fun. It's him just running from Boston Red Sox fans. Okay, that was my number 8. Cody, what's your number 8?
My number 8 was Assault on Precinct 13.
Okay.
So my number 7. I'm in punt territory here because I do know Nick really likes this movie.
If you say Halloween, we're done.
No, my number 7 is Prince of Darkness.
Punt.
Okay.
That's
I expected that.
And you're going to punt mine. My number 7 is John Carpenter's Christine.
Not on my list. It was my number 1 Stephen King movie, but it is not on my John Carpenter list.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what's on your list.
It got squeaked out. It got squeaked out.
Such a good movie.
I had a lot of fun with the other movies too. I mean,
okay. Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad. It's fun when we have a topic where you're not versed in, and you enjoy it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I do like Christine. I did watch this for the Stephen King episode back in
September,
whenever It Chapter 2 came out.
September last year.
And I mean, I've always liked the story of the killer car. I mean, it's been, again, parodied multiple times on
1 week. No, sorry. I said it's been.
It's been parodied multiple times. Like, of course, Futurama had an episode on it. I've seen it parodied in Family Guy. All the cartoons have done some sort of killer car parody. And then, seeing the OG story, I love the effects of this one. Like when the car is coming back to life, when the car is
truly one of the best sequences, special effects showcase sequences, even to this day, is the sequence when Christine repairs herself.
Yeah, when the dents are popping out.
It still holds up.
Yeah, it really does.
Awesome.
And was it filmed in reverse at all with hydraulics? I know it was filmed with hydraulics. I don't know
how they did shit, but it's cool.
I know they used hydraulics, but I wasn't sure if they
I'm sure some shots might be
reversed it, or
regardless, you watch it and it's still just like Damn, that's awesome.
It is really awesome. The whole story, the through line with the kid becoming obsessed with the car. I mean, it's still a little weird, and it's not
as weird as it could have been. Read the book.
Okay.
Yeah, the book is a lot weirder.
Okay. Does he have
and
sex
Carpenter
with the car?
cut that. No, in the book, it's. I mean, in the movie, they kind of imply that it's the ghost of the guy he bought it from.
Right. Okay.
And the movie doesn't really hit that as much. It's more just it's an evil car.
It's just possessed.
And Carpenter was smart to do that, I think. Cut out kind of the more weirder, over-the-top shit of the ghost possessing the car and just make it an evil car. Just go simplistic.
Okay.
It's kind of that's why Halloween works. It's simplistic. Michael Myers has no motive. He's just a psychopath.
He's just a psychopath.
Christine, make it simplistic. It's just an evil car.
Well, they tried to make
the minute it comes off the assembly line.
Right. They tried to make Michael Myers have a
not
plot
Carpenter's,
not Carpenter's, but all
with Christine. Like I said, in Christine, it's evil from the minute it rolls off the assembly line. That opening scene,
when
so
it kills
the worker. You know what I mean? So like it's just an evil car, which works.
Mm-hmm.
Make it simplistic and it works even better. And it's just a fun movie. I think it's a really good horror film. There's some really scary sequences. Like I said, the car repairing itself when it's chasing that kid down the alley.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good scary scene. And I just think the acting 80s acting. Yeah, but it's fun. It's entertaining. I still like it a lot. I just think it's a really good Stephen King adaptation too. It's the only time we've gotten Carpenter and King.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of homages to them nowadays with Stranger Things and even It, the movie, which is just, both of those are just big homages to Carpenter and Stephen King. This is the first time those two actually work together. And Carpenter has went on record as saying like Christine was was like the only movie. I mean, he's had, he liked Halloween, he liked these movies, but Christine was one that was really special to him to where everything clicked and worked. And he hasn't bad-mouthed it since.
Wow.
Yeah, he has never said anything retroactively against the making of Christine. That movie, he said, just pretty much everything worked. It was a fun shoot. It ended up pretty much the way I envisioned it, and that's what we have. It's a good movie. I think it's a solid, good horror film that a lot of people know but might not have seen.
Right.
It's kind of like Cujo. There are people who know the word Cujo for an evil dog, but that might never have seen it.
Right.
Same with Christine. Oh, it's an evil car, but might have never seen it. People should. It's a really solid horror film, and I think it's a really solid adaptation. Having read the book, it's a really good adaptation. Like I said, he does change stuff, but it's for the better, I think.
Yeah. And
my number 7.
I'm just looking at because I wanted to know a little bit about the regeneration scene, and it looks like it was rubber mold. They took a rubber mold of the car and mounted hydraulics to pull the framework inward, and then shot it back, or then reversed the film. So they pulled in and reversed it, which is still amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, it's one of the best sequences in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my number 7, Christine.
All right. What's your number 6?
My number 6 is another one that I thought was going to be a little higher, but after rewatching it wasn't necessarily that I didn't like it as much. Just I rewatched some others and it just bumped it to where it is.
Okay.
But I still really, like I said, all these movies on this list I love. And we're getting now to like the movies where any day I can watch one of these and really be like, I'm down for this. My number 6 is the John Carpenter's The Fog.
Mine too.
Good deal. I love this movie because it's just a simple ass ghost story.
That's all it is. I mean, not even dead pirates. It's dead sailors. That's it.
And I love that the movie opens with a guy telling a story around a campfire.
Telling the story of exactly why. Telling the story of exactly what's happening. And
that's a reshoot. They hadn't originally had that in the movie, and Carpenter went back and shot that because he wanted some more punch-up stuff. And I love it. I love that movie opens with this very foreboding, campfire scene of this guy telling the story and of Antonio Bay and different stuff. And the score of The Fog is awesome.
Just because you were a fan of Are You Afraid of the Dark, that's why you like the opening so much.
Well, it is really fun when he takes the sand out of the bag and throws it in the fire and the words come up and says, John Carpenter's Are You Afraid of the Dark Fog? But no, you should be afraid of the fog. The score is awesome. I love the score for The Fog a lot. I think it's really creepy, and I love just it's really good. And I think the effects hold up pretty well for it in terms of the fog. Not necessarily the CGI fog over the bay. No, that still looks kind of iffy, but in terms of the special effects of using real fog and different stuff, like
fog
they
coming
did
through the doors.
Pretty good with the technology they had back in 1980
Let's say
or 79. It's 80.
80 came out in 80. I say my biggest problem with this movie though, Tom
Says that it
Atkins is
wasn't
30
longer.
years older than Jamie Lee Curtis.
That is always a problem with Tom Atkins. Look at Halloween 3. The guy is like 40 in that movie, and he's supposed to be with this like 20-year-old girl. Like, yeah, that's always a Tom Atkins problem.
Yeah, that was my biggest thing. But no, I loved that. I loved the whole pit with the radio DJ yelling, save my son, get everybody, get out of there, trying to warn everybody. The fact that everyone's celebrating this festival when there's this devastating murderous spree going on. It was,
and I like that Janet Leigh is in it with her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. I also liked he didn't go overboard with. It's not their back to kill everybody in the town. No, they want six people. They want 6 people.
6 must pay.
Which leads to one of the
die.
best moments at the very end when he's like, why didn't he take me?
Mm-hmm.
And then he walks back into the church and turns, and it's cuts to black. Dun, 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 dun.
And one of the other things, I love that you don't really get to see the ghosts either.
You really don't. No,
they're just pirate ghosts. It's just because they were supposed to be lepers,
correct.
So they're
falling apart.
Like,
they're covered in seaweed.
So and you
see their eyes.
You see their eyes, and you see their squid leader, Davy Jones.
Groovy pirate ghost, man.
Groovy pirate ghost.
I know they're lepers, and they're not pirates, but I've always said The Fog is a pirate ghost movie.
It is,
and I love it for it.
It plays like a Scooby Doo.
It really does. It's a pirate ghost movie.
Yeah.
And I love it. I've always really liked The Fog. The remake.
There's a remake.
Yeah, it was from 2005. It was not good. Not good. Even Superman's in it, and he couldn't save it.
John Carpenter produced it.
So did Deborah Hill. It was like the last thing she did. She died right after it came out.
Oh.
Carpenter produced it, but he produces all the remakes because they give him money. All you can say about the remake is that it has better special effects, but it's not a good movie. If you want to watch The Fog, watch the original. It's got much more suspense. It's got really fun moments. I love the sequence where Jamie Lee Curtis is in the hospital and the body gets up. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Because then at that point, you're like, is this a zombie movie now? What is this? You know what I mean? I thought it was a ghost story. What's happening?
Then the body just collapses again.
Yeah, and it's good. It's just so much fun. I love the whole sequence at the church at the end. Mm-hmm. I love Carpenter's cameo in the very beginning. Did you catch it?
Nope.
He's the guy working for the priest in the very beginning that's talking to him and says, I'll see you tomorrow. And he goes, why don't you stay and have a drink? That's John Carpenter. And I never caught that till this time. I'm like, that hair and that mustache looks really familiar. That's John Carpenter. Because, he has cameos and he has cameo in Halloween. He plays the boyfriend on the phone with Annie. He plays Paul. He plays the voice of Paul, So he has little bit things, but for him to actually be in it was surprising to me because I never caught that before. I must have always zoned out after the awesome campfire scene and was just sitting there going, oh, for like 10 minutes after that sequence.
Yeah. I don't know.
I didn't want Charles Cyphers to die. It's like, don't go out there, weatherman.
No, I didn't want him to die either.
Yeah. He's just a
I didn't want the babysitter to die either, but
be happy with what happens because she gets a much more gruesome death in the remake.
Oh, does she?
It's because they had better special effects. They just went over the top with everything. It's why remakes a lot of times don't work because we're just going to make things bigger and more crazy. Well, it doesn't work. What happens is she's doing the dishes and a hand comes up out of the sink.
Out of the drain.
And out of the drain grabs her arm and like burns it and lets go. And then she slowly just starts to become decrepit. It's almost like the leprosy like transferred and she just becomes like, and just gets all decrepit and just dissolves. It's like, that's so stupid.
No, I don't like that.
And it's like, I like this old woman. I don't want to see her just dissolve. I'd rather just see her get pulled out of a door. It's all that kid's fault. Don't go on the beach. Shit happens on the beach.
Tom Atkins' character was named Nick Castle.
Yeah, Nick Castle. There's, I think Tommy Wallace is a character's name or something like that.
Yep.
There's a few characters in the movie that are fully just named after Carpenter friends.
Yeah.
But all these movies look good. A lot of these do because of Dean Cundy. We've got to talk about Dean Cundy. He's the cinematographer, or director of photography.
Cinematographer.
I think cinematographer, right? And he's awesome. His, Halloween looks the way it does because of him. The Fog, they all still look like a Halloween-esque Carpenter film because of Dean Cundy.
Right.
and the bulk of Carpenter's early movies were shot by him, and they have that distinctive widescreen look that Carpenter always had, and it looks great. The Fog, my number 6.
My number 6 as well. So in the middle of every episode, for our audio viewers, what we're going to do is we're going to cut away to a few ads. I don't know if it's going to have ads on YouTube yet. If it does, they're here.
Hopefully they haven't been just interrupting everything.
If not, well, then we're just going to go back to the show.
Or you're like me and you pay for YouTube Premium. You never have to worry about this shit.
Or if you get, I pay for YouTube. Actually, my roommate pays for YouTube Premium. I just log in under his account. There we go.
I've used it for over a year now, and I don't know if I'll ever go back. To the point where, like, I've been watching, like, my niece, we were watching something on YouTube, and an ad come up, and I'm like, what the hell is happening? Because I'm so used to no ads anymore.
Yeah, and you were logged in on your brother's phone or logged out on
your phone.
I
think it was my brother's phone, and she was watching the YouTube video, and I was like, what the hell is happening?
What is happening?
Oh, that's
what is
right.
This?
The dark age of YouTube ads.
Oh.
But if
you
we
don't
start
see
getting
those ads,
monetized, I'll take it.
Or if you still want to support the show, go to the link in the description, anchor.fm/getranked, and click the support button and give us a little change, pocket change. Buy us a coffee. Or whatever. I don't know.
Or movie tickets.
Or movie tickets. Or
bandwidth.
Movies.
Yeah. So
anyway, back to the show. Now
back
those
to John
ads are out of the way.
Now back to John Carpenter's Get Ranked, a movie podcast. I think we're contractually obligated to say it.
At this point, yeah.
All right, Cody, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is a movie that, again, was a first-time watch that I did not expect it to go where it went at all. My number 5 is Big Trouble in Little China.
My number 5.
Okay.
See?
We have a very similar list.
Aren't you happy when I brought this up in Box Office Bombs and I said, you need to watch Big Trouble?
I am glad you brought it up, but I did not expect it to turn into a monster movie.
Isn't that great?
I expected it just to be, I expected the ancient Chinese warlord or wizard or whatever the dad from Kung Fu Panda was.
Yeah, whatever he is, the sensei from Balls of Fury.
Totally threw me off. I mean, I knew his voice, but as soon as he started talking in this movie, I just imagined
the duck.
But no, it's just this was
it's Carpenter's. Yeah, it's Carpenter's homage to just kung fu movies
and
just fun, weird ass shit. I mean, the guy
had no idea what to expect.
And he literally, blows up.
He blows up. He inflates himself. I mean, this was the guy that was like, early in the show, he just inflated himself to break free of Kurt Russell's grasp, which how that worked, I don't know, because he didn't get that big. And then for him to just explode later on.
Yeah.
All of this was just to get his truck back.
Yeah. Jack Burton is one of the best heroes in a movie just because he wants his truck back, and he's a character just thrust into this ridiculous stuff, and he's confused by it all just as much as you are, which makes it fun when the main character doesn't know what's happening, is a fish out of water, and he's like, what the hell? And I love the movie opens with letting you know, like, there's magic.
Yeah.
Like Victor Wong being like, look at this.
Yeah.
And it's like, cool, let's go. Mm-hmm. And it's like, Victor Wong, stay away from Perfection Valley, Nevada, please. We need you to live. But no, I've always liked Big Trouble in Little China.
That ancient relic in that church. What?
That's right. He definitely needs to stay away from the Satan juice.
The Satan juice. Anyway.
That's always what I've called it, the Satan juice. Or Satan tonic, whatever you want to call it. They're just spraying it in everybody's mouth.
It's
Satan juice. Put it in your mouth.
Still grosses me out. We'll talk about Prince of Darkness later. But
yeah. But no, it's just fun. It's just a really fun. This is another instance of Carpenter. It's not horror. It's got some creepy stuff in it. Like Cody said, it becomes a monster movie by the end, but it's more of a fun action. It's more of an adventure film.
Yeah, exactly. It's an action adventure, kung fu homage to
mysticism, and
I really do like the Storms, the Earth, Wind, and Fire cover band.
I just like Kurt Russell is just so perfect for this movie. He's so good at playing the aloof badass, to where he's a fish out of water. He's
aloof in Escape, but he's
true. But he's out a fish out of water to where, like, he's not goofy in Escape from New York at all.
No.
LA.
Yeah.
But in New York, yeah. But for this, like he's always been good at, even in Hateful Eight, he's this type of character where he's this kind of overinflated ego. I mean, that's why he plays a character called Ego.
There you go. Guardians of the Galaxy. I get it.
He's so good at that type of stuff, and it's perfect for Big Trouble in Little China, to where it's like, I'm fish out of water. I'm being goofy. I don't know what's happening, but I want my truck. And he's so good. I love it. I love Big Trouble in Little China. It's one of those that bombed. A lot of people haven't seen, but it's got a cult following, and the people that have seen it really like it because they just realize how much fun it is. Kim Cattrall, she's even good, and I don't usually like her.
Yeah, and again, I love James Hong in this whole movie. When he's playing the Lopan as like the wizard Lopan, and like is even the old decrepit wheelchair Lopan was. I mean, he does good. Awesome. He looks awesome in both roles. His makeup was fantastic. The voice is still the only thing that throws me off. Is his high pitched voice.
The first thing I think took notice of him in, like I said, is the Sensei Master in Balls of
Fury. Yeah, I know I saw that way before Kung Fu Panda, but
Same here.
Kung Fu Panda is what I remember.
And that's definitely what I think of too. But I always just think of Balls of Fury because that's the first thing I really noticed him in.
Ping pong. Or in China, they call it
ping pong. Oh, that's a Christopher Walken reference, but
that was Christopher
Balls
Walken.
Of Fury. We should do Balls of Fury. Just a whole episode of Balls of Fury.
We should do stupid sports movies
after the basketball episode.
Just do stupid sports movies because basketball was on our sports movie list. Let's just do stupid sports movies. Anyway,
but no, Big Trouble in Little China is an absolute blast. I love it to pieces. I knew it was definitely top 5. It was just where was it going to fall?
The monster effects were actually really good for the time too.
They were cool.
The thing with all the eyes was fantastic, and like when they keep just stabbing it every time it wakes up, they just stab it again.
Just keep stabbing it. It's just great. I love Big Trouble. It's just a fun movie.
The big monster that's in his truck at the end.
Yeah, it just shows Carpenter always has that type of sense of humor. He always has. Even in Halloween, there's some of that sense of humor with Michael putting on the sheet. That's a morbid, goofy sense of humor.
Right.
He's always had that type of sense of humor. And so it was fun seeing him put it full force in a movie like Big Trouble, where it isn't so serious. It is a little goofier. It's a big, fun movie. It should be big fun in Little China.
There we go.
But he gets in trouble. So,
yeah. Big trouble.
That's right. John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China.
China is
number
here.
5.
My number 5.
Yeah. All right. So that was my 5. Moving down to my number 4. I'd seen this one before one time, and I rewatched it for this just to see where it would fall, and this is where it fell. My number 4 has one of the greatest fight scenes of all time. My number 4 is John Carpenter's They Live.
I don't have my sunglasses nearby.
But you do have an audio clip.
I do.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Oh, he sure was.
I cut that audio out right before he says, "Oh shit."
But then you say it. But then you say it. No, They Live. Like I watched it years ago, and I was like, "This is a good movie," and I wanted to rewatch it for
my number 3, by the way.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So,
and it's just so much fun. It is one of the for one. Before we even get into like the goofy shit, the unintentionally goofy shit, I think we'll talk about. I hope. I hope. I hope it was intentional, but if not, I don't know. But let's talk about like what makes it a good movie. It's a very good commentary on the media and Reaganomics of the 80s, which Carpenter's even admitted it was all about Reaganomics, which is about we're going to try and sell you this bullshit. Oh, sorry, PG-13. This bull stuff.
Yeah, we're fine.
Fucking A. We're going to sell you this stuff. And
now we got the explicit mark.
No, we don't. To where, we want to sell you all of this, but in reality, we're selling you this.
Obey.
And it's all awful stuff. Exactly. And it's such a good commentary on commercialism and, trying to basically just control us through media and
Everything.
Billboards,
Media,
everything.
billboards, magazines. It's.
I mean, that's such a great moment when he first puts those glasses on and sees the big sign that says "Obey." Wait, what? Marry and reproduce. Watch TV. And then you see the aliens, and it's like, wait, what the hell? And it's such an awesome alien design.
It really is.
For the face. When they try to do a body shot, the very last shot of the movie, when when people finally see everything, and the girl's having sex with the guy, and she looks down, and you see like the really
just
shitty
all muscle.
But not even
it's
that.
Obviously
it's just,
painted on.
They just painted him purple.
Yeah.
The face looks really good, but they just painted his body purple. It's like, oh, thank God, it's only 4 seconds of the movie.
Right.
But it's awesome. It's a really good commentary on that, wrapped up in a really fun, suspenseful mystery, I would say, in the sense of you're trying to figure out what the hell is happening, why is this the way it is, and why is there a 6.5 minute long fight scene in the middle of this movie with no audio other than the fighting.
And I do like that it was like the whole movie, you don't find out they're aliens till the very
towards the end.
Towards the end when the other
which
homeless
I didn't
guy
realize
is guiding
how
them around.
many movies Carpenter has made that have to do with aliens until rewatching all these movies this week.
Yeah,
a lot.
There was one that I was glad was aliens.
Yeah, he has done a lot of movies that have to do with aliens, and like I said, I did not realize that until watching all these this time and seeing, oh, it's aliens, it's aliens, it's aliens. But it works for this. I love the moment, like you said, when the homeless guy's taking them around, and you see basically their Grand Central Station.
Yeah, the airport,
where they're just shooting them off into space.
Hopefully, they stay alive.
That's true. But it's fun. It's just a fun movie. Roddy Piper was an unconventional lead to pick for the movie, but he's perfect.
He is.
He's great.
Somehow he made that work.
It works, and he's good. He's good in that role, and Keith David is really good in that role.
He wasn't going off of any like WWE crowd energy.
No, and he's good, but it works for the part. Like when that scene you have the sound clip of when he goes into that bank. It is so stupid.
So stupid. He wanted to be. I think he wanted to be like Terminator at that point. Like
I don't know, but it works.
He totally had the Terminator look with the sunglasses. But
true, and I just like I said, it all comes back to that fight scene. When that 6.5 minute long fight scene starts, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go. Just a guy trying to get his friend to wear glasses for 6.5 minutes and them just beating the holy hell out of each other.
It reminded me of Family Guy, Peter fighting the giant chicken.
Which could be why Family Guy did that. I know for a fact South Park almost shot for shot remade it, which I know I sent you that
the
clip.
cripple fight, right?
Yeah, the cripple fight. Which is purposefully a parody of that, to where even put on. I think he wants him to put on the hat. In the cripple fight, and even down to the where he goes to hit him in the nuts and he goes, "You dirty motherfucker!" and then he hits him. Like it's exactly like They Live, and it's just so goofy, but it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Two badasses fighting each other, and like I said, it goes on almost too long to where it's not funny, but then keeps going and it becomes funny again.
It does.
Because you get to where you're like, I can't believe this is still happening. And then you start laughing again because it's is still happening.
It's like, okay, it's over now. Nope. What's going on here?
But it's good. No, I've always really liked it. It's like I said, in terms of the commentary, you're not going to get any better than that in terms of Carpenter commentary, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just so well done. And
very much so.
It's really a fun movie.
And it's just the subliminal messaging that's just so plain.
That's what's cool about it.
It's just boom.
White background, black letters.
Obey. Yeah. Marry and reproduce.
Yeah, there's no images. It's truly just the words, which is a good commentary on that. That really,
smoke.
We're showing you this, yeah, but really we want you to do this.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's fun.
Yeah.
The score is really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Trying to remember the score.
It was like a rock.
It's been a lot of
the madness.
Yeah. Okay. I've been watching a lot of John Carpenter, and I mean, a handful of scores stood out to me, but say this one not as much. Yeah, because that song is ingrained in my memory.
All right. Anyway, They Live. John Carpenter's They Live. My number 4. Cody, what's number 4?
So my number 4 is first time watch, and I really enjoyed it. It's my number 4. Surprise. So my number 4 is The Village of the Damned.
Not on my list.
Not on your list?
This was a first time watch for me as well. I'd always wanted to watch it, but never got around to it. This would probably be like my 11 or 12. It's just shy of my 10, to where I enjoyed it, but there's a lot I didn't like to where it left it off.
Okay. And I really enjoy this movie. I'm glad they did an alien movie and not another demonic possession movie. As like I think the one that I watched right before this was Prince of Darkness, so I was ready to be away from demonic possession stuff.
Yeah, but that's just Satan's special juice.
Satan's special sauce?
That's right. Satan's love juice.
Ugh.
Oh no.
No, that just makes it insanely worse. No, Village of the Damned. And I think, say again, seeing the parodies of this, The Simpsons, The Bloodening was a shot-for-shot parody of this, to where it was the little blonde kids making the townspeople kill themselves, That
was a Treehouse of Horror, right?
No, it was just a movie that they went and saw to see. They were like snuck into the theater or something and had nightmares about it. It may have been a Treehouse. I don't know. Part of a Treehouse.
No, I think you're right.
But no. I mean, it's a fun movie that I think this one was very well done, very well shot. We got Christopher Reeve.
I think it's shot really well. That's one of my positives of this movie is I think this movie looks cool. I like the setting, and I think Carpenter did shoot the hell out of this. I really like
California.
the small town, coastal town, like that stuff's really good. I like that.
And and the concept of it is really cool to me. Like the kids can, control people, read their minds. They are pure evil. The beginning where they all pass out, or everyone passes out, is really cool. It's like, because you have no idea what's happening. It's like, is it like there was no noise, there was no, like, say another movie that I saw, it was like a loud tone that played and it like just killed everybody.
When
but
it
that
cuts to the guy on the grill, I was like, is that guy laying on a grill? And then it cuts back later and he's just completely charred. I'm like, okay, yeah, that was a grill.
Yeah. No, that was, the unforeseen, that and the guy getting in the car crash.
That was surprising because I was surprised they killed him off that fast.
But sending the one guy in with the gas mask, he gets 5 steps in and passes out, and they pull him back and he wakes up.
Yeah.
So it's like, what is the situation? And then, they all get pregnant. They all have the kids, the creepy looking kids that, just a bunch of kids with bleached blonde hair.
And that was really their hair too.
And they really
did what was interesting, that it wasn't a wig. And it's like, these kids went around for like at least a month or two in public with this haircut.
Maybe they wore a wig in public.
I would hope so. Because if I saw that in public, I'm drop kicking that kid. You're from the village.
I'm going to get 9 kids together, put little white wigs on them, and just send them to your house for trick-or-treating. Tell them to walk in double file and walk up to your house. You'll give us
you have to have one by himself in the back, though.
That's why I said 9. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
It was really sad. That kid's side story was super sad.
And what's fun is, like, I know that actor, Thomas Dekker. He's went on to, like, do a lot of shit. He was in Nightmare on Elm Street remake, which you probably didn't remember him in that because you tried to leave.
Nope.
Yep. He was in the Sarah Connor Chronicles on Fox. But I think one of my problems with this movie is I think there are some casting issues. Kirstie Alley is miscast.
I didn't like Kirstie Alley in this.
Fortunately, I think Mark Hamill was really miscast, even though I like Mark Hamill. But I think
his character was okay. I mean, it was
good.
It was, a little confusing seeing, like, is he a priest? Is he a minister? Oh, he's married, so minister.
But never crossed my mind. But I just don't. And it could also be more of a writing thing because all of a sudden he's trying to snipe the kids. We just jump cut to him with a sniper. That was out of nowhere.
I did find that. Yes, his wife had just killed herself from the kids. That was right after the wife burned alive.
There should have been more of him dealing with it and then him going to do it. But the fact that
another sermon about murdering the children.
Yeah, and like I said, Mark Hamill's good. It was okay. I was let down a little from him.
Christopher Reeve was great.
Christopher Reeve was really good, and it definitely made me sad the minute it started and it first showed him. I remember thinking to myself, like, damn, like, that guy was the total package in terms of, like, really good actor, really good looking. It just sucks what happened to him.
Yeah.
It didn't diminish right after. It was the same year. The year this came out was the year he got in the horse riding accident.
Yeah.
But he's really good in the movie, and there were some twists and turns that were fun. Like, I didn't expect Kirstie Alley to die when she did.
Mm-mm.
I was like, how is she going to get out of this? Oh, she's not. Same with Christopher Reeve. He blows himself up.
He sacrifices himself.
Yeah. Which was good. I think all the kid actors are really good, especially the main one.
They're
She's really creepy.
creepy.
Yeah, she's really good. It just wasn't my favorite. There were a few moments where I felt this one dragged a little bit,
Okay.
which could be why it ended up getting bumped off. I mean, I don't even know if it was ever on my list, but it got just shy of it. But it's good. It's fine. It was just, I think, forgettable for me.
Okay.
Whereas I'm going to go back and rewatch Big Trouble. I'll go back probably and rewatch Assault in Precinct 13. I think it's a good fall movie around like this time of year to throw on Village of the Living,
like a fall
Village of the
season.
Living Damned. Yeah, Village of the Damned, I think might be a good movie to watch around this time of year. I don't know. It was good though. It was fine. It was fine. I was happy I watched it.
Yeah.
Whereas some of these others I had to watch and Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase, yeah. I moved on to my trip now.
Yeah, I wondered. No,
No.
but anyway, it's on your list. So go ahead and continue talking if you want.
No, I mean the biggest parts of it. I thought it was really cool that it was aliens and not just demons. And I mean it doesn't, but it may leave room for a sequel where they go off and the one surviving kid is, because I mean
A sleeper agent.
a sleeper agent. I mean, yes, he still kind of had the same consciousness as the rest of them. So I mean, do you think that he had some menace behind him when they were leaving? Do you think there was some? Because they would have known that if he was planning to get away. I mean, I don't know. This movie's been out for 25 years and they haven't made a sequel. So
It's because it didn't do very well.
yeah, there's that.
You'll see a remake or another adaptation of the book before you ever get a sequel. I think.
There was another edition of there was 1960. There was
there was an older one. Yeah, there was an original one.
But the Midwich Cuckoos.
Yeah,
Based on the book. And that one did get a sequel. Would you look at that?
Village of the Even More Damned.
Nope, Children of the Damned.
Because of Satan's love juice.
Let's see. Oh, it's just another city. Anyway.
They just go to another town.
Yep.
Hey, they've made 14 Children of the Corn sequels. They can make a sequel to this.
They'll send you the corn. And I always think, Twilight Zone, I'll send you the cornfield.
That's right. I will. All right. So that was
my number 4. My number 3 was They Live. So what's your number 3?
Moving over to my number 3, which I'm sure is going to be a punt. My number 3 is John Carpenter's They Live. Or not They Live, sorry. The Thing.
Punt.
The Thing.
Punt.
God damn it, Cody. You did it. I knew you were going to do that just to spite me.
Why? No, it's not to spite
Just
you.
to
I
spite
genuinely
me.
like the movie more.
God damn it, Cody. I know you're doing this on purpose. Anyway,
Didn't leave the desk.
moving my 2.
Your 2.
My 2 is a punt. It's Prince of Darkness.
All right.
Is The Thing better than Prince of Darkness? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. I
You
think
just don't-
technically, no.
You just get
I think
creeped out by The
technically
Thing.
it is. I think technically it is.
Okay.
But in terms of what I'm going to go back and watch, I've watched Prince
Did
of
you
Darkness.
rewatch The Thing for this list?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Wow. This is what,
but
your
in
third
terms
time
of
watching it?
what I'm going to rewatch is going to be Prince of Darkness because I've always loved Prince of Darkness. And I
Okay.
love The Thing, but I think I just like Prince of Darkness more just because I like the idea behind it. And The Thing's a damn good movie. We're going to talk about it.
We're gonna
It's
talk about it.
unfortunately Cody's number 1, but we're going to talk about it. Yeah. It's a damn good movie, but I like Prince of Darkness more just because I like it's creepier. I think The Thing is gross, whereas Prince of Darkness I think has some really creepy shit.
Prince of
A guy-
Darkness
a
is gross.
guy-
Everyone
he
throws
turns-
up into each other's
He
mouths.
turns into bugs, which is fun. Yeah, Satan's love juice right up in their mouth. And it's really warm too. It's gross. I've really, really liked. This is the show you're gonna get. No, I've always liked Prince of Darkness. Always, and fun trivia fact for everybody: Cody and I worked at a haunted house while we were in high school. I still am a part of it.
Nick still works there. I worked there for 4 or 5 years, something like that.
And on the soundtrack for the music that played in the house, it's always had and started with the score for Prince of Darkness. The boom, boom, boom.
So as soon as I start this movie,
That's the first thing you hear.
the first thing I hear is like, have I seen this movie already? What is going on here? Why is this exact melody? And I'm just like humming along with it. And it's like, it's like, why is this ingrained in my head? And then I got the smell of fog machine
juice.
fog in my head. And it's like,
That sense memory.
haunted house. That's it.
Yeah.
I texted Nick. This is the start of the haunted house soundtrack, isn't it? The first thing that played at 7:00 when the doors opened.
Yep. And literally, I told Cody, I've redone the music for the house. I did about 4 or 5 years ago. I redid all the music, added new music, new movie music and stuff. I kept this as the opening song still. Because to me, nothing symbolizes the start of the house more than when we'd be up on the third floor getting ready and they would turn on the music and you would just hear throughout the whole house, boom, boom, boom. Mm-hmm. Here we go. And so I kept that because to me, that's the haunted house. That's the start of operations. Mm-hmm. And I love the score for the movie. We'll talk about that first. The score for Prince of Darkness is
phenomenal.
Really good. It's my second favorite John Carpenter score behind Halloween. Because I think it's great. I think it's got some really good creepy moments. Even when it gets into more of the upbeat, boom, 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 during the end credits, Mm-hmm. But I just think Prince of Darkness. I just like the story behind it. I like the idea of taking the idea of good and evil, but making it more science based.
Yeah, that it's.
I was surprised this isn't higher on your list because I know how much you love like science and tech and stuff. And this movie basically takes the idea of evil and putting it into technology, basically, which is we're going to try and test this Satan's love juice that we found in this green container that's spinning. And what is it? We can't test it. What is it? Why is it not showing up? Mm-hmm. And then it becomes more real world evil where Satan's love juice is just spraying in that woman's face and she becomes all possessed.
She gets really creepy really quick when she's
real fast.
And like when she's standing at the end of the hallway and,
mm-hmm. And he's like, Susan?
James Hong is down there.
James Hong, Victor Wong.
Victor Wong. I was going to say Victor Wong, but I second guessed myself and said James Hong.
Tremors, Victor Wong.
Tremors, Victor Wong.
Three Ninjas, Victor Wong.
I forgot he was the sensei in Three Ninjas.
I only remembered that is because I just looked at that movie the other day online. I was like, I forgot Victor Wong was in this. And I was talking to my brother about it. He goes, I watched it a few months ago. It's on Netflix. It mm-hmm. doesn't hold up. And I was very upset by that.
That's sad.
So I'm going to have to watch it to find out.
They call him Tum Tum because he eats everything.
That's right. Jeez, it's a good movie. I'm going to have to rewatch it though. But no, it does have some genuinely creepy shit. I love Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper as the leader of the homeless dudes was
I love it.
That he doesn't get any lines. He doesn't talk at all. He doesn't do any of the
like music.
7 people.
Yeah, and he doesn't do it's not a matter of like, oh, we want him in this so he'll do a song. No.
He's just creepy
Alice
MF.
Cooper is a good person for that role and Carpenter cast him and he's great.
He did really well. And
Donald Pleasance is fun.
Donald Pleasance as the priest I think was really good and like towards the end when he's trying to
when he's hiding behind that thing, when mm-hmm. the demon woman's in there, I was like, oh God, don't find him. I mean, now I know they don't because I've seen it countless times. But that first time, it's like, I don't want Pleasance to die.
But when he's screaming at them in Latin and...
Oh, it's so good.
It's really good. And
I love the whole movie. You're wondering, is it really the devil or is it some kind of evil juice? But I love when she's reaching to the mirror and it cuts to the other side and you see the red hand. Like Carpenter goes full on like... cartoon version of the devil where he's red and he's got the black fingernails.
It's South Park Satan.
Yeah, he's reaching for her hand. It's like, oh, that's cool. And it even has a dark ending to where the girl basically sacrifices herself almost to stop them by jumping, grabbing the girl and jumping into the mirror. And I love the special effects of the mirror to where it's like, which they just use mercury.
Oh, is it mercury? I thought it would just be water.
It's water and they use mercury too. For certain shots.
That's safe, kids.
It's a fake hand.
Okay.
Yes, when it's touching, it's a fake hand just to get that liquid mirror look.
Gotcha.
Then it's water when you're actually seeing
it's from the inside.
Correct.
Because the hand can moves then and grabs you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Say the fake hand was the okay. That makes it a little bit safer. I'm still probably being around that much mercury to breathe in is probably not safe, but hey,
probably not. And really, back then they didn't give a shit.
You broke a thermometer and played with it in your hand.
They're just spraying Satan's love juice all over the place.
That was also mercury spraying in everyone's
yeah, but I just love how creepy that is. Like, what a creepy idea that not only does it spray from the thing up top, but once you're possessed, you're just spitting that shit left and right.
It's like
and it's so creepy when they just go spraying out. It just sprays out. Like, oh man, it's so creepy. And then when she starts to slowly just like decay because she just has too much.
When she turns into Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, and then she's creepy. The way that woman plays her, how her eyes are always.
The eyes is what got me, and like what really gets me is how close the prosthetic is. Like it is right to her eye. It is right up onto her eyelid, and it's like she probably has her eyes open like that because it hurts like hell when that stuff touches her eyeball. And
it's just good I just really like Prince of Darkness. I truly think it is a good scary movie. Like the moment when the one guy's trapped in the closet like thing.
Mhm.
And they're trying to get into him, and they're trying to break the wall on the other side. That's a very good suspenseful scene of like
even before he's trying to break through, like just as he's watching those, I mean, the two standing outside and then watching the other one slowly transform. It's like it's just so stupid. So you guys, read any good books lately?
But it's good. There's some gory ass moments in it. When they kill the guy with the bicycle. Right? Isn't that what they kill the guy in the alleyway with? What is it they stab him with? Isn't it a bicycle seat?
Yeah, I think so. I think because the other guy was
turned into bugs.
But I mean, he just stabs him with the garden.
Basically,
half
he
of the
stabbed,
garden
and then
shears.
they see him, and they're trying to make them think it's him, but it's just a bunch of bugs.
Yeah, it's Edgar.
Exactly. But no, I just have always liked Prince of Darkness. I think the score, like I said, is phenomenal. Boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
It's just good. No, I have it on Shout Factory. Come out with a special collector's edition of it a few years ago, and I've got that, and it's an awesome cover.
Okay.
It's got the house, it's got the church at the bottom, and that's Pleasance at the very top like this, and it's got the bugs all over his hands, which I don't think happens in the movie, but it's still a cool shot for the movie. It's him just like this, and it's got a couple things down below, but
okay.
Do you remember in high school we found a GIF? Remember at the very end of the movie when the guy wakes up from the dream and then he rolls over to the side and he sees the evil girl again, and he screams and wakes up again.
Yeah.
Remember in high school, someone took that moment and made a GIF out of it, but when he turns, it's the Burger King laying in bed next to him.
I remember what it was, but
I remember the first time I watched this movie was after seeing that GIF over and over, and I was that's what that's from. It's from Prince of Darkness. I never cannot not laugh at that moment when I watch this movie now. And it's just good. No, I love it. I love Prince of Darkness to death.
Honestly, when I was watching it, I was hoping it would just cut to black right there. He'd turn, she's there, and it just cuts to black. Fade to credit there.
That would be fun, but I love the idea of him just shy of the mirror and it cuts to black.
Yeah, there's that too.
That's a cool idea. So, yeah, my number 2, Satan's Hot Sticky Love Juice.
All right. So, my number 2 is Nick's number 1, but I know we're going to talk about that more. I don't know. So, I mean, my number 2 is Halloween. Would you like to talk about it now? Or would you like? I mean, it falls into place here.
All right, we'll do thing first.
Okay. That's what I was expecting, to be brutally honest, because you want to save the best for last.
Yep.
Best in quotes. So no, my number 1 is John Carpenter's The Thing from Another World from 2011. No.
Yeah.
No.
It's not a bad movie. They just ruined it with CGI.
They should have done practical, but no.
Like you can look at they started doing practical effects for that movie and changed it last minute. You can see some of the practical effects they were going to use for that movie, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
That sequel or prequel, whatever, would have been a good movie, but they just ruined it again by the overuse of CG.
Yeah. But no, John Carpenter's The Thing is the ultimate whodunit, and it's the building the trust or mistrust between the crew is what really gets me on it. It's like that's my favorite part of the movie. The effects are awesome, and I get why the movie's famous for that shit. Yeah.
But I prefer it more for the kind of cat and mouse whodunit, quote unquote, of who's a bad guy and who's not.
Yeah, and I know now, like in this day and age, as we're recording this, Among Us is the big meme game, and it's a very.
I want to play that.
I do too. I'm actually I have a group playing this weekend. I'll invite you. But anyway, the whodunit, the who is, or can I trust you? Like the entire scene when they're testing everyone's blood, and they do the entire bit convincing you that it's Keith David that's the bad guy, and you're like, I'll save you for last. And then they get to like the
trivia
third
fact
to last
for
one.
you. I couldn't remember the character's name who was the one whose blood he tests.
That comes out.
So I was expecting it to happen like one more from when the one had actually happened.
And it startled you?
So when I rewatched it the other day, it scared the shit out of me. Because I was like, okay, I think it's... And because then he did... Because I know he's holding it like this when it happens.
Yeah.
Because it's a fake hand for the thing to come up underneath. So I was looking, I was like, he's holding it like that. So is it this one? And then he did it and it didn't happen. I was like, oh, okay. So they just set him up holding it like that. So it will happen.
Yeah.
And then it showed him grab it. And I was like, and it didn't cut to that guy to show him be nervous. And okay, so it's not that one. Then when he did it and the bastard popped out, it scared the shit out of me again. I was like, God damn it. That was that one that does it.
That one. Yeah. And I love it. I love that it's, they spend that whole scene convincing you that it's going to be the last one they do. And it's like the third to last one that, and
because after the sequence happens, when they burn him and all that, they continue testing the blood.
Continue to test.
Like they don't cut away and say, "Oh, we tested it," or "Oh, it was him, so we're not going to test anymore." They're still testing people.
Glad that they did. It's like, okay, it was him, so we don't need to test the rest of them. No, test the rest of them right now.
When you men are done, I would like to not spend the rest of my life tied to this couch.
Exactly. It's so
guy's death is so stupid, though. I hated it then, and I hate it now. When Wilford Brimley puts his fingers in his, it looks so stupid.
The effects on that one were really weird.
Ugh.
And I mean, to get Wilford Brimley in one of his early roles, unrecognizable, to me. I mean, I only really know him from Quaker Oats, Diabetes, and My Fellow Americans, but
Cocoon,
that was the other big one.
Which Paul Rudd's the same age now as Wilford Brimley in Cocoon.
That's insane.
Yeah,
Paul Rudd's a vampire.
He really is. Speaking of Paul Rudd, Halloween 6. In Halloween 6, no, The Thing is good. I've always said on the show that I think The Thing is one of the best horror movies ever made. It really is.
You just hate it.
I don't hate it at all. Like watching it the other day, like I was like, it's a good movie. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Like I'm all for
the effects are too well done.
I will say this time, there were a few effects that actually, when I was watching it this time, I was really trying to have like an eye at the special effects.
There's a few
moments this time where I was really like, that doesn't necessarily look as good as I remember it looking. And I don't know if it was just because the first time I watched it, I was so grossed out and so repulsed by it that I just wasn't paying attention. But there were a few effects this time where I'm like, that looks bad. When they go in to find the dog, and it's the big monster dog, that looks really fake. You could tell they just covered it in KY jelly. So it would look, so you have the response I did the first time, which is just repulsed and you're not looking at the seams,
the details.
And when the guy gets his hands bitten off by the chest mouth.
So I looked up the trivia on that scene.
And the thing comes up and it's got the head up top and it goes,
oh yeah.
And that looks really fake. And I never caught that before until this time. I was like, that looks really fake. I never realized how fake that looks, but it still has
the head crawling on the ground looks really bad. That one
especially
was a
the way
funky
Carpenter
puppet.
shoots that scene where Kurt Russell's in the foreground and you just see it crawl in the background. It looks really fake. I remember literally laughing, going, I don't know if Carpenter intended that to be funny. So this time, there were moments where I was like, the effects don't hold up as well as I remember, but they still have the intended thing, which is to just gross you the hell out.
Yeah, and even the thing at the end, the Wilford Brimley thing, with his face at the end was a little
it's not great.
Weird. I mean, you can tell it's stop motion.
Yeah.
And actually, no, that one wasn't stop motion. That one was a puppet that took 50 people to operate.
Okay. It's still it definitely. It's more known, I think, and better for its gross out shit than it is the actual effects. Because the effects, like I said, this time I was watching it for that. And even when the guy is falling apart, when they're testing the blood, when he starts, that looks bad. And I've always thought this was bad, is when he bites the one guy's head and he's holding his arms and he's holding him in the air. The body is so obviously fake.
That one was bad. That one was
I thought that the first
awful.
time I watched it too, and this time was even funnier. And it's like Beetlejuice, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. But it does what it's supposed to, which is just gross you out and be bloody and gross. I've never liked the banana peel dog.
Yeah.
Even though I know that dog is like an alien, it still upsets me to see a dog's face banana peel.
Right. Reminds me of the dogs from, I think, Resident Evil or Devil.
Resident Evil always had the zombie dogs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Lost Plagueis.
Yeah, there we go.
Resident Evil.
The other fun fact that I was going to bring up is when he's doing the defibrillator and the chest opens up and eats. They hired a double amputee and just put fake arms on him, put it basically into a bear trap.
That was a real like bear trap, which is funny to me that they really
the
did that.
Fake arms off.
Yeah, which is cool. Like I said, like it does it what it is intended to do, which is be gross and creep you out, which is what it does to me. Like I said, this movie is a very good horror film. I just never want to watch it because I don't want to sit down and know for 2 hours I'm just going to be repulsed for 2 hours. And I don't want to do that. I want to watch a movie and be entertained. And I'm not entertained by this because it's so disgusting and I know what's coming because I've seen it. So like when the dog part happened, I'm sitting there going, okay, let's do it. Get it over with, but I'm not entertained by that. I'm more entertained by the suspense stuff of, like I said, the blood scene or Blair losing his mind and shooting at people, or
and the end where you don't know if either of them is the thing, and they just sit there and die in the cold.
Sit there and die in the cold, or like, survive in the cold and just freeze.
Why should I trust you? You shouldn't. Okay.
Exactly. It's a great ending. Like that stuff works. It's the effect stuff that just repulses me to where I don't want to watch it and put myself through that shit. But I can't deny that's a damn good movie and very well made. That's why it's my number 3. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good movie. I just don't ever want to watch it.
So I invited a bunch of people over this weekend to watch The Thing this coming weekend, and I've got a lot of no thank yous. Like, oh, come on. They said they want to watch another
your
fall
friends
movie.
would have much more fun watching Prince of Darkness.
Or Prince of Darkness.
Prince of Darkness. Get all of your religious friends over and be like, we're going to watch a movie about some juice. And then about halfway through, when they realize it's the devil, you don't have those friends anymore.
I don't have those friends anymore. No, maybe I'll change the movie to Hocus Pocus, a more family-friendly fall fun movie.
Halloween.
Or Halloween Town. I haven't watched Halloween Town in forever.
My niece was over a couple weeks ago and we threw it on. It's still fun.
Does it still hold up? Okay.
Yeah, it's
that's
still
good.
fun. It's still fun. It's because it is what it is. Anyway, you like The Thing. Keep talking.
I love The Thing. And I mean, yeah, that's I mean, my thoughts on The Thing. It's a wonderful movie. It's a wonderful, I still, again, love the whodunit, who's the alien, who's the traitor,
The score is good. It's one of the few Carpenter movies that he doesn't do the score, which is Ennio Morricone.
Yeah. Which, I mean, he did some of it.
True.
He took all of, like, as Morricone only recorded, I think, like 75 minutes total. And he used about half of it. And then he added in the more synthy techno stuff that John Carpenter is known for.
I love Carpenter, but imagine having the balls to be like, I'm going to hire Ennio Morricone and throw out half of his score. Like, Carpenter, you're good at doing scores, but come on now. It'd be like hiring John Williams to do your music and be like, I can do better than that.
And then have an Alan Silvestri remake it. Re-record
exactly.
it. I was trying to think of the guy that redid the Spider-Man soundtrack.
For what? Number 2?
Number 2.
Oh, Christopher Young.
Christopher Young, yeah, that they threw out the Elfman stuff.
Most of it, yeah.
Anyway, so moving down to our piece.
I forgot before you did your one, but we segued to it the way we did to talk about ones that didn't make our list.
Okay. Yeah, let's segue.
Just his other movies before we get to Halloween.
Starman was really good.
Starman is good.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a good movie.
It's a good movie. And I was complaining about Jeff Bridges' acting
He's
the whole time I was watching
it.
But, thinking about it more and more, it's like he really did good at that.
He won an Oscar.
Fish out of water.
He was nominated for an Oscar.
For the Oscar.
The only movie to be nominated for an Oscar by Carpenter.
It was for Jeff Bridges acting like an alien.
He's good. I love him acting.
His walk at the very beginning reminded me of Eddie Murphy's white guy walk from Saturday Night Live.
No, Starman's good. It's a fun movie. I like the different moments. The deer sequence was good.
The at the end when the SETI guy is letting them go, and
that was a fun moment. I like that.
Good turn of events.
I gotta look up Carpenter's filmography so I don't forget about shit.
Well, let's see. Memoirs of an Invisible Man was
that one.
Okay.
I actually had a fun time watching it.
The effect I really like the
best part of it is the effects. Correct.
The smoking, the eating.
That's the good stuff of the movie. Is the special effects are really good and I think still hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Why
they showed Invisible so much. I think Chevy just wanted a bigger paycheck.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was. Is you've got Chevy Chase and he's going to be invisible for the bulk of the movie. Let's actually show him. And I like that the idea of even his clothes he was wearing are invisible. That way, he's not just naked running around the whole movie.
Right, and he can change back into those clothes when he wants to be fully. Because all the other clothes he puts on are invisible. or are not invisible.
They're not invisible.
Are visible.
Yeah, just the tux.
Just the tuxedo
Or
that
the
he's wearing.
suit,
He puts
whatever.
the suit he puts back on when he wants to be fully
And even
invisible
he
and not
can't
naked.
see them. You know, the joke being, oh, where the hell did I leave them? My jacket, you know.
Yeah.
But Daryl Hannah is really good.
Mhm.
And I always like her. Michael McKeon.
Michael McKean was what threw me off. It's like, wait a minute. I just watched
Sam
all of
Neill.
Christopher Guest a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Sam Neill's
Neill's a good
accent
foil.
didn't kick out as much this time.
He was good in it though. But it's the effects I think are the best part. A moment that genuinely made me laugh was when they put makeup on Chevy Chase so he can go to a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's just a very exaggerated makeup. It's like, okay. And the big white teeth.
The teeth.
So
I
was reading online on how they did the effect where she first puts the makeup on him in the room, where it's just a test where all they do is just his face, but not of his eyes or anything.
They were just wiping off the green makeup, right?
No. His whole head was covered in blue makeup.
Or blue makeup, yeah.
His teeth were painted blue. He gargled with blue dye, so his tongue would be blue, and wore blue contacts.
Okay.
And then they put that makeup on that blue, so then they just digitally erased everything.
Okay.
I love the idea they even.
I was thinking that they were just wiping off the blue makeup to where he'll appear as they're wiping off the blue makeup.
All blue, and then they just put. It's almost like on Batman.
Two layers of makeup.
Yeah, when the Joker is putting on or wiping off the tan skin color to the white underneath.
Yeah.
Like, same deal with that. Like, you know, I just like, that's a cool idea.
That is cool.
But the effects were good. What else we got? What other Carpenter movies I'm forgetting?
We got The Ward and Ghost of Mars.
Okay, so The Ward I didn't watch because reviews were atrocious and I just didn't want to put myself through that. Ghost of Mars I didn't rewatch, but I've seen it and it's fine. Ghost of Mars is basically Assault in Precinct 13, but on Mars.
On Mars. Okay, so The Martian, but with a gang war.
It's got some fun action sequences, which is really all it's good for. It's not really scary. It's just got fun action. Jason Statham's in it. It's like one of his first movies. He's really fun. Ice Cube's good. Ice Cube. Yeah, Ice Cube's really good in it.
You got me. I didn't watch it.
But other than that, it's okay. It's not anything special. John Carpenter's Vampires is fun.
I didn't get a chance to watch Vampires.
Incredibly misogynistic.
Okay.
Very misogynistic. And
because it's starring James Woods. No.
There's a weird running joke throughout the whole movie, and I say joke in quotes, to where he's constantly asking people if, like, these other male characters, if what they just did gave them wood. It's like, what? Why is this a recurring joke? And it's the last line of the movie, too. They also use it for the last line, where they kill the vampire, and they're walking away, and he says to the guy, hey, just tell me. Did you get some wood back there when that happened? It's like, why is this happening? Why is this the joke you go out on? It wasn't funny the first 4 times. But it's got some fun action sequences. The guy who plays a vampire, Valak, is really good. The Baldwin is very miscast because he plays a character whose name is Montoya. Oh no. But the gore is really good. The gore in Vampires is really good. It's fun. It's violent as hell. The guy gets ripped in half. It's
moving back, Escape from LA, which
is okay.
The basketball scene was really stupid.
And the surfing scene.
And
my problem with Escape from LA is you took a premise that was pretty serious, which was, you know, it is a pretty serious movie, Escape from New York. It's got some more out there shit, but it's pretty straight down the barrel, an action film. Escape from LA, he goes cuckoo birds. He goes really little too far into goofy and over the top. My favorite part is one of the more over the top parts, and that's the Surgeon General of LA, Bruce Campbell.
It was so it's like when I first saw him, it's like,
did you know he was in it? Well, it said in the credits, I guess.
I think it said it in the opening credits. I didn't until he started talking. As soon as he talked, I knew it was like, holy crap, that's Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, and he's fun. I wish we had more of him. Buscemi is fun, as always.
Buscemi is the map to the... I mean, the map to the... That there still is a map to the stars guy in post-apocalyptic LA.
Yeah, it's just... I just think they go too... You could tell he had a bigger budget and just went bigger and crazier with it, and I didn't like that. I wanted a more... like Escape from New York, but just do it in LA. But it is a fun, but it does have fun moments of commentary.
Are we getting to that point now where we're going to have President for Life and banish everyone who is having extra
scary
morals?
To watch that this weekend. When literally Friday he said he might refuse to concede. Yeah, no, it was very scary to watch that this weekend. But I do like the commentary on it, though. As much as it is over the top, I like the Surgeon General idea that it's LA. They're obsessed with
Plastic surgery.
So of course there'd be a whole group of people who constantly have to keep doing
Buying
plastic
body
surgery because they're
parts
falling apart.
It's
Exactly.
Repo the Genetic Opera,
but good.
I liked Repo Men, the one with
Repo Man is fine with Larry Fishburne, right? Or is it? No, it's Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, and
Is it Jude Law?
Jude Law. There we go. That's
Yeah, that was a fun movie.
Yeah.
Good. I don't think it was fun.
And then the only other one we haven't talked about yet is Dark Star.
Which I've never watched.
And yeah, me neither.
But anyway, so
Science
there's just
fiction
a few
comedy film.
Yeah, of the ones that didn't make our list, but they each have some moments that are worthwhile, I think. Except for The Ward, which I didn't watch. So now on to my number one, which is John Carpenter's Halloween. If you weren't leaning over and I knew you were attempting to push something, that would have scared the absolute shit out of me.
Also, he fell.
What?
I had this taped on my wall right above my chair so it would pop up.
I didn't see it at all.
It fell. It was down on it was down stuck to the lower on the wall somehow, but
There you go. Just tape him right there.
oh.
There he goes. You gotta tape him through the thing there. There you go.
This is the quality content you pay for.
No, start paying so we can get better. We can actually have Mike. I was gonna wear. Cody mentioned before we started. I play Michael Myers at the haunted house, and I have the jumpsuit. That one right there. It's from the original, but I don't have the mask. I use the haunted houses. Pay for us to get me a Michael Myers mask. I would do a whole show in Michael Myers cosplay.
You'll sound like Bane. You'll sound like pre-recording Bane the whole time.
That would be fun though. I'll just do the whole episode as Michael Myers Bane. Hello, I am the shape.
Oh, that's totally Michael Myers' actual voice. That's why he doesn't talk, is because he knows he sounds ridiculous like Ed Hardy.
Yeah, because the minute he goes to talk, Michael goes, hi. No, like I said, if you weren't leaning over to push that, that would have scared the hell out of me. But I didn't know. I knew you were.
I was trying
something.
to push it and like reveal him.
I wonder why you were leaned over. Yeah. Play the theme for me.
I ruined the whole joke.
Play the theme. There we are. That is so loud. There we go.
I don't want to get demonetized.
That's true. Stop that shit. Although I've read online that YouTube pretty much only checks like the first
hour or first
half. I think it's first 30 minutes, right?
Or first half or first 10 minutes or something
like that. So we'll just throw all of our songs in the back half.
There we go.
My number one, and Cody's de facto number one, John Carpenter's Halloween. Yeah, he's putting up
Halloween 2.
He's putting up 2, but it's his de facto. No, my number one, Halloween. It's no surprise if you've listened to the show before. It's my favorite horror film. It's damn right up there next to Jaws. Is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I will say The Thing is probably one of my favorite movies now too.
Okay, it's a good movie.
Just moving on.
It's just disgusting. Is it as good as Halloween? That's a matter of opinion. It's not. But Halloween is, I think, one of the best horror films ever made. I think it's a masterclass in suspense.
It really is.
You're basically on the edge of your seat from minute 0. Especially when that score kicks in, because it just puts you on edge. I think there's no better horror icon. Jason's pretty close in terms of, you see a hockey mask and a lot of people, even kids, go, that's a killer.
That's a killer.
But this one right there is so damn spooky just because it's a white face and he's just looking at you.
It's William Shatner.
As he's looking at me right now, and it's uncomfortable. But I
got the most neutral pose too that I could find on Google Images. I just printed one off in black and white on my printer. It's just
it kind of works. His mask is white. Who cares?
Exactly.
But it's great. It's just so good. Michael Myers is truly one of the best horror villains of all time. He's a blank slate. He's pure evil. He's the shape of evil. That's why he's called the shape in the script, because that's all he is to Carpenter. When he wrote that script, he's just evil. He's an escaped mental patient. Why is he doing this? There's no reason. It's just he's evil, and he's going to come kill you. It's what he does.
On a terror spree. I mean, I guess the one motivation you can say, he does go back to his hometown.
That's really the only thing, is he goes home.
That's it.
He goes home. That's the tagline of the movie, is the night he came home.
Yeah.
That's really, you're right. That's really his only motivation, is I'm going home. And he just happens to pick Lori because he's the first person. She's the first girl, or I guess you could say girl, but first person he sees.
And how all of the scenes where he's stalking her, that it's just creepy. Like you see him, like when she looks out the window in the classroom, and he's standing behind the car, and then he's gone, or when
That's
she's
the
walking.
first time you see him in the mask is when he's standing out by the car.
And then even later or earlier when she's leaving the house, and you just see his shoulder. Yeah, you just see his shoulder.
That's before school. Yep, that's before school because she drops the key off before him. And you see the back of his head in the house.
In the house.
It's the shot of her walking away after she's dropped the key, and his head comes into frame.
Yep. And then him disappearing out of the yard when she doesn't look away from the window.
That's one of the bad moments, but it's still a creepy ass moment.
It is when he's standing out there.
How many times have people, you, me, anyone has been doing something at a window and looking out and just thinking, what if someone was there?
Right. Or,
you know,
dressing up and standing out there outside someone else's window. Just creepy.
Right. That's right. It's just really good. Is the acting iffy? Yeah. Yeah. But it's the 70s.
Donald Pleasance is overboard.
There are a few moments where Pleasance, I think, is great. Pleasance doesn't go crazy Dr. Loomis until Halloween 2.
Right.
This one, he's much more subdued. The lines he's given are really over the top. He's pure evil. He's got the black eyes, the devil's eyes. He's over the top.
They're like doll's eyes, black and
like a doll's eye. That's right. And then we mix Jaws and Halloween together, and we've created the ultimate movie. And guess what? Satan love juice everywhere. No, Halloween is just great. The score, you can't beat the score.
Mm-mm.
It's the best John Carpenter score. It's one of the best. I think it's the best horror film score, not counting Jaws, because I think that's more of an adventure.
Yeah, Jaws isn't a horror movie.
But I think it's the best horror theme. I mean, you hear the Halloween theme, you might not know what it's from, but you damn well know you better run.
It gets the hair on the back of your neck to stand up.
Yeah,
it gets you.
You might not know it, but you know you have to run.
You know something bad's about to happen.
Something's coming.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And yeah, I really like this movie. It's my number 2. Just because I get more rewatchability out of The Thing. I get more. I feel like I get more out of The Thing. I don't have much more to say on the Halloween.
Okay. It spawned 11 sequels? An entire franchise.
9 sequels and 2 remakes.
2 remakes. That's going strong now. I mean, Halloween Kills. We should be getting excited to see it in 3 weeks, but we're not now.
But we're not
until now a year. But it is what it is. I love the new one. Cody and I did a commentary track for it. You can go back and listen to if you'd like.
Yeah, it was a really fun movie.
It's better than the It one
Mm-hmm.
because you can't hear the movie in the background.
Yeah,
and the audio's a lot better. So if you're gonna listen to a commentary we've done, listen to the Halloween one.
Listen to Halloween, yeah.
But no, I think it's great. It is one I've watched a shitload. I'm already excited. Thursday, October 1st, AMC Fear Fest starts. Guess what's on all day?
Halloween
1, Halloween 4, because for some reason they never have the rights to 2 or 3. Believe it or not,
That's
AMC
bizarre.
very rarely airs Halloween 2 or 3. Halloween 2 was on HBO a lot, or Cinemax. So I think
Warner must have it,
got them or something,
or HBO, or who knows? I mean,
I think Warner, bro. Time Warner. Is it Time Warner technically? HBO
Time
Max?
Warner. Time Warner is HBO Max. That's where all the stuff is. That's where no, that's not where Animaniacs is going. Animaniacs is going to Hulu.
Animaniacs is coming back.
They're doing. They've got all the original voice cast back too.
Spielberg going to be in it again?
I don't know if Spielberg's doing production on it, but it's going to be like they've already confirmed like Frank Welker, Tress McNeil, and the Maurice LaMarche, and the guy that voiced Yakko and Wacko. I can never remember their names.
I was never a big Animaniacs fan.
I really
never
did.
One of my favorites.
I really liked Animaniacs. I like the stupid smart humor.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But no, if one movie makes me think of fall, even though I watch it all year round, it's Halloween. It's truly the best. I love it. It's my favorite. It was an easy number 1 for me.
I expected it, and I expected you to be mad at my number 1.
I figured. I knew The Thing was going to be over Halloween, whether it be for reasons to piss me off or just because I know you like it. Who knows? Yeah. The world may never know. But one thing we do know is that this was our list.
Yes.
What were you going to say? Satan's Sticky Love Juice?
No, I was going to say skinny Michael Myers is a lot more terrifying than.
Oh, absolutely.
Macho.
No, when Rob Zombie's horrible remake come out and made Michael Myers an 8 foot tall bodybuilder, come on. That's
Yeah.
not scary. It's scary because what would you do if you were in a room with someone that big coming at you? Yeah, that's scary.
Right.
But what's scarier is that guy, skinny ass little Nick Castle, lifting a guy up with one arm up on a wall. That's scary because how is he doing this?
Right.
Pure evil.
Pure evil.
Did I send you the picture of someone drew? It's Michael Myers passed out at a bar with a bunch of shots, and it's Dr. Loomis. I gave him six shots.
Yes.
One of my favorite things to do, anytime I watch something where like they say the name Michael, I'll just shout, Michael! We just need to do another Halloween list. Yep.
It'll be the same as last year, won't it? Because no new Halloweens have come
something
out.
having to do with Halloween, because I want to talk Halloween. We'll figure something out. But that is our list for this week of our rankings of the John Carpenter movies, or 10 favorite John Carpenter films. There's Cody's master list. Mine is on my phone right there. Hey, look at that. There's my Batman wallpaper.
Oh, I was expecting Michael Myers, but it's not October yet.
No, October 1st, it'll switch to the shape, and then I'll be
Yeah.
scared every time I look at my phone.
So I
Although,
never
to be fair, because iPhones let you change your icons now, Facebook is Michael Myers. Facebook is the shape's face. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I almost made it Leatherface.
Leatherface
'Cause I
book?
thought, but I have Tinder on here, which the icon is a fire, so it's Freddy.
Okay. Yeah, why not? But no, I've been going through and customizing all my ringtones, and the text tone when you text me is just the first two notes of Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
But when you call me, it is the Halloween theme.
It's got to be.
It has to be. I mean,
You know what my ringtone is right now?
What is that?
My ringtone right now is this right here.
Is that
Halloween
the original? Okay,
Nope,
that's
Halloween 2.
Okay, yeah.
I have the original. I usually save that for like right before Halloween.
Okay, gotcha.
I have 3 different versions on here for ringtones. I used to have the one that actually had the auto clip of actually Loomis going, "You don't know what death is." But once they updated, they got rid of any of that I made.
Aw,
for
lame.
only ones you could buy. So yeah.
Lame.
But yeah,
Why I go with Android?
Just like I want a phone that works. Just like having the Halloween theme. Ladies and
Touché.
gentlemen, Cody and I always argue about phones. We have for years. Just like though Halloween is always my ringtone around Halloween, I always have the same ringtone around Christmas, which is Donald Duck. But that is our list of John Carpenter. It was a fun list. It was fun to rewatch some of these, and it was fun for some new ones for me. But it was interesting, Cody, having to watch a bunch of new ones.
Watch a bunch of new ones and enjoy them.
So with that list in the can, put it in the can. Of course, it's a slinky. Why do you just have a slinky lying around?
Why not? Why don't you?
Now, would it blow your mind if I pulled a slinky out right now?
A little bit. Where's
No.
pencil come from?
The shape brought it. Anyway, so that is our list of John Carpenter. So now is the time where we tell you stuff you need to go do. Head over to our Facebook page, Get Ranked Movie Podcast. Comment and let us know what you thought of this list. Or, now we're on YouTube, go to the comments. Let us know in the comments of the video what you thought. What did you like about our list? What would you put on your list? How would you order these? Do you like Halloween? Do you like The Thing? Do you like Michael Myers staring at you with tape coming off of his head?
Bad things are going to happen.
They sure are. I would have just put it around. Oh, nice. Cody's got some really garbage tape. Now you gotta slowly just put him into frame. I like you did it on an angle. That's what made it better. It wasn't a complete like this. It was he popped in on the side. Just hello. I can barely see him with the light, but that was perfect. Wait, was that? Show me that again. Put him up close. Okay, for some reason it looked like Rob Zombie's Michael Myers, and I was about to be very upset. He just slowly rises from the bottom. See this? It's the side shot. He needs to be there for the rest of the episode. But yes, go down below. That's my me on my Nintendo. Remember that? That was him popping in from the side. Anyway, yes, you can now comment down below in the episode on YouTube. Comment, let us know what you thought of our list. Let us know what you would put on your list. What's your favorite John Carpenter movie? Let us know. Head over to GetRankedMoviePodcast.com. You can find our website there. You can find some merch. You can find all the past episodes. If you're new to the show and you want to hear our old shows, you can find them on there. You can find them on on the podcast app, on any website. There he goes. On any podcast app you like, we're on there. On YouTube, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you like this post. Like and subscribe, as the kids say. We are now YouTubers, so that's what you have to say.
That's what we
make
have
sure
to
you
say.
like and subscribe.
And get the bell on.
That's right, because you need notifications. Click the little bell down there. It's going to be right down there. Click the like button. Don't click
Too many
dislike.
notifications.
Don't be cool. Don't click the dislike. Don't be a person that's going to be, I want to click dislike. But now we're going to have a shitload of dislikes because of that. He's to go from the bottom or the top. Whoop. Where is Michael? It could be the new, there you go. There's a new segment. Tape him somewhere different every week. We'll see if we can find him. And one week I'll print the same one and we'll put him here somewhere. So yes, so make sure you do that. Head over to iTunes and leave us a review, please. That really does help the show, and it really does make us feel good when you give us a 5-star review. Now, what you're going to need to do, okay, to make sure the show grows, you're going to put on a Michael Myers mask. All right? Right there. That one right there. He's gone. He's gone already. He's got stuff to do. He's got shape things he's got to do. He's got to go buy some Michael Myers, some M&Ms, because Michael Myers. That's all he eats. He's very thin, but he eats nothing but candy corn M&Ms. Now you're gonna take that Michael Myers mask. You're gonna put it on. You're gonna drive around town. Now it's gonna be very hard to see, but that's okay because you've got the force in you. You've got the shape, the evil, and some hot sticky sage juice. And you're gonna it's perfect.
We look so disappointed.
If you can find a way to tape him so he stays there for an entire episode, for the Halloween episode, that's your job. Find a way to tape it so Michael can be in the
that'll be
shot.
easy. That'll be easy. I got a bunch
it.
of these mic stands.
Love it. I don't even know where I was going with this. Just go like the show.
Tell everybody about the show.
Since this is the first YouTube show, just go do that. Tell everyone. Tell them they can find us on YouTube, Get Ranked Movie Podcast. Or Cody will cut that part right there because we haven't created the channel yet. And if that's not what we're able to call it, Cody will tell you right here. But yeah, like, subscribe, hit the bell. John Carpenter. And now he's dancing.
Why
just
not?
go across the screen at the bottom.
It reminds me of the Potter Puppet Pals.
Everybody, this is the quality content you are going to get for the video version of this show. On audio, you're not seeing what's happening with the shape. We're being a very terrible audio podcast right now.
We are.
But regardless, hope you enjoyed the show. For the Get Ranked Movie Podcast, I'm Nick.
And I'm Michael Myers.
We'll see you next time. For another episode of John Carpenter's Get Ranked Movie Podcast.
There we go. Get Ranked, a movie podcast, episode 78.
And freeze frame.
No, I need to figure out. No, Get Ranked Movie Podcast, episode 78, John Carpenter.